Hey everybody, it's Lynn from A Bit of Birdsong, and I've been texting with a friend, so I haven't recorded all of this, but I think this is a good place to start. So what I did was take all of the photos, and I was gonna like put backing from this onto them and keep them all the same size. But I had some library cards that I thought I might try to work into this, and a lot of times maybe we use card catalog cards the same size they are, but as I started laying these down, I saw it just seemed really interesting to cut bits and pieces out. So maybe we'll just keep working on this step by step. And what I'm doing right now is just cutting up a few cards and getting some words on the page. And I like the way this looks. I forgot to bring my tacky glue out here. It's inside. So I think we're going to work with Mod Podge. And let me get a brush. I don't want to use that one. Let me get a brush that I can use with the Mod Podge. And we will start maybe gluing these things down a little bit and trying to keep them sort of where they are, which is not going to be that easy, but we'll do the best we can. It doesn't have to be perfect. That was there, but if this was kind of under it, I love that this one says campus security and law enforcement. And meanwhile, we have this old photograph of, it looks like a grandmother and grandson actually looking at Christmas trees. That's what it makes me think of. And you know what I'm going to do? Let me see. All right, I think I've zoomed you in a little bit. I'm going to try not to move this piece at the back. I do have ideas though. I bought some new paint today at work when I got off work. Oh my gosh, I love my discount. You can imagine if you get something on sale and then you also get a discount, especially if it's art supplies and fabric. So I'm really loving that. And I wonder if I sound a little raspy right now. My throat has been sort of dry today, and I don't know. I hope I'm not getting sick. That's one thing about working in retail. You just come in contact with so many people, and especially like I'm pretty much the main cashier when I'm there, and I do love it. I really do. I definitely, I touch a lot of people's money and handle things that other people have been handling. And I just think, oh my goodness. Hopefully I've got some immunity, because I hear people coughing and sneezing, but it's that time of year too. I know a lot of people have been sick. I feel good. I just feel like my voice sounds a little raspy. So I'm okay putting this down. Like, I don't know if I wouldn't really call this a sloppy job, but I'm okay if it's not perfect, and if I get a little bit on the top, but I don't want too much of that, because I might be doing some sewing on here. I'm not sure yet about that. We're just doing a mixed media. We're going to make our book. Oh yeah, my friend is still texting me. So I will get back with her when we're done with this video. It is so nice to come out here and create after working all day. I don't know if any of you saw my Instagram channel. It's just called Cheap Greenhouse. I'm not telling you to go there. It's different content. So I didn't want to bombard this channel with something that really has nothing to do with journals. But I'm enjoying my little greenhouse. I made a terracotta heater to go out there, and it has raised the temperature a few degrees. It really needs to somehow be magically warmer out there. Anyway, let's put her back down. And I do have, oh wait, where did this come from? I think this was over here somewhere. Just put that right there. Got that. I think she was more up in the corner. I don't want the pictures laying right on top of each other. I think this is going to be fun. Look, hers says Catholic Worker Movement. Let's pick that up. I wonder if I told y'all the story about going to a local church service and somebody shot a gun out in the street as I was going in. These old photos are making me think about meeting somebody, and this was at another job, and somehow her family photos had been donated, and it was because they didn't mean to donate them. And when I found the photos and the donations, I just had a really strong feeling they should not be there, because it was like 5 generations worth of stuff. And the lady that the photos belonged to, or like she was one of the main family members who could make sure the photos got where they belonged, she came in to where I worked and had not been in years, and she saw the photos where like some had been put on the floor, and then I stopped and thought, these can't go on the floor, they don't belong there. So I saw her, she just stood and stood and stood for the longest time looking at those pictures. So I walked over to her and she said, this is my family. But we met. She was actually a preacher, or is a preacher in a local church. And when I found out where she preached, I said, that's interesting, because I have sat before just looking at the outside of that church and feeling like I would love to go in for a service. So she invited me to a service, and I went. As I was going in the front door, somebody drove by the church and they were shooting a gun out the window. So we were all like pulled into the church, and it's a gorgeous, gorgeous old church building. Just gorgeous, with the doors that are heavy wood, and they kind of arch down like that. So they close, and one of the heavy metal bars falls down into those things that hold it. But she came into my new job, and I just couldn't believe it. It's like we're meant to cross paths. So I really want to get back to one of those services. I enjoyed it a lot. It was a really beautiful prayer service. And anyway, these old photos make me think about that. And I'm glad her family photos got back to her. Now, I'm wondering if this is going to be dry enough to let me turn it over and do what I want to do. Oops, I wrinkled that a little bit. I don't want to have it stick to the paper underneath. Well, let's turn it over and I want to use something that's not gonna, let's see what kind of line that makes. I've really been hooked on these lately. Let's just kind of go around the page, not too much. I don't want to make it too tedious for myself, but let's come back and hook to that circle. And now, okay, so I've got, oh, I forgot a photo. Well, oh well, maybe she's not meant to be there. She might be hanging out for the next project. So, my new paints that I bought today are metallics. And let's slide that back a tiny bit. So, This is Deco Art from Joann's. Metallic acrylic paint, peacock pearl, and this is not even open yet. I have paints that need to be thrown out, honestly. Maybe I should find a way to use up what's left. They're getting really stringy and I've had them for years. So today, on my lunch break, I decided to walk around and look at some things, and I was thinking about this project. And I saw these metallic paints and I said, oh my goodness, I think it would be really pretty to incorporate this somehow. So let's, I might need a smaller paintbrush too. I love this paintbrush, even though it's just ill-suited for a lot of things. I'm kind of stuck to it because I've used it for so long. You can see it's bent where it's been sitting in the bottom of the water. But the curve, I guess I've just gotten used to it, you know. But it's definitely probably not the best tool for some of the things I use it for. So let's just color or paint some of these circles. And I am going to get a different brush. Gosh, if I have one. Maybe I need to buy brushes as well. I'm wondering if I should cut these pages or the individual pieces in a way that they're all the same size, even if it cuts through some photos. I kind of think that would be interesting. Let's go ahead and use up all of this paint. And then we'll go to the next color. This paint is kind of thin. I'm a little bit disappointed. But I don't know, it's pretty. I don't like the way this brush is doing. I may be going back to my handy dandy ill-suited brush that's sitting over there in the water. And one more, let's find how about this? No, we've got too much of the blue on that end. We'll use up the last bit of the blue with this shape here. And now let's open up this purple. This is called Amethyst. So let's start with the purple metallic. Now I have some watercolor paints that are shimmery. But this paint is thicker. This is an acrylic paint. feels so good out here just to have the heater running and to be quiet and just to do something like this that's so relaxing. You can see what I'm doing. I just scribbled all over the page. Not too much, but it left these bubbles. And we used to do this in kindergarten, I guess. But it does make quite an interesting design when you're done. And I'm trying not to let the colors touch, like two of the same color. So let's use up the rest of the purple and we will go to the next color. Okay, so let's I've used those two. I still have this really pretty color and I am missing a color. I think I left a color inside because I also have a beautiful green. We've got the bright copper, the ice blue, and I have a unicorn. This is a glitter acrylic paint. So I'm going to stop instead of just making everybody watch me paint all these little circles. I'm going to stop it for now, go find the green metallic paint, and when I come back the next time, I will have this finished and then we will go to the next part of the book. All right, I'll be back soon. Bye for now.